Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock.
Hey guys, Dustin here. Welcome to another episode of Horroritis. Since it's October, I decided that this month I'm not going to do a 12 months of foreign horror, and I'm actually going to do a list video on my top picks for Halloween movies. Now, this isn't movies from the Halloween franchise, although there's a couple on the list. This is movies dealing with Halloween in general or sometime around Halloween, and of course it has to have a horror element to it. So these are my top picks. Once again, as usual, this is just my personal list. These movies are the movies that I like, and they're not in any specific order. You can jumble these up, throw out whatever you want, it doesn't matter, but these are movies that I enjoy watching specifically around Halloween time. So let's jump right into it. First on the list is the original Halloween from 1978. On Halloween night in 1963, 6-year-old Michael Myers stabbed his sister to death. 15 years later, he escaped from a mental hospital to finish what he started. So we all know what this movie is. This is the movie that gave us Michael Myers, and it really put slasher flicks on the map. This was written and directed by John Carpenter, and it's the perfect movie for the season. If you haven't seen this, you're doing yourself a great disservice, and I encourage you to go watch it right now. Go ahead, pause the video. I'll wait. So next up on the list is 1982's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. An insane toy maker plans a mass murder on Halloween by using an ancient Celtic ritual. Now this movie catches a lot of flack for being part of the Halloween franchise and not being a continuation of the previously established storyline. Now, the word is that originally all the Halloween movies were going to be different movies about different things, and they were all going to have like major running theme or something like that. But what they did was they made the first one with Michael Myers and then the sequel with Michael Myers, and then when they decided to move on and do something else, well, a third movie without Michael Myers just seemed wrong to the fans, and the movie bombed at the box office. However, I think that if this movie hadn't been associated with those first two movies, it would have done a lot better. And if you haven't seen it, you probably should, because on its own, it's a pretty decent flick, even if it's not the highest quality. Next up is Trick or Treat from 1986. A young metalhead ends up with the final recording from his dead metal hero. When he plays the record backwards, he learns that he can communicate with his passed on hero, and that his hero wants to come back. Why should you watch this movie? 80s, metal, human sacrifice, Gene Simmons, and a small part played by Ozzy Osbourne. Enough said. The next one is 2007's Trick or Treat, a series of interwoven stories all taking place on Halloween night and ending with a mysterious little trick-or-treater wearing a burlap sack on his head. This movie may not be the scariest or the goriest, but is most definitely the Halloweeniest movie on the list. Each story has its own twist that's just as much trick as it is treat. It perfectly embodies the spirit of Halloween and the feeling of Halloween, and it's actually based on a short cartoon from the same guy who both wrote and directed the movie, and if you can actually find that, it's also called Trick or Treat, and it's also pretty cool. Next up is Idle Hands from 1999. When a slacker finds his parents murdered, his own right hand is not the culprit he expects. Okay, so this one is a horror comedy. It stars Devon Sawa as a slacker whose goals really don't reach too far beyond smoking pot. Also, he has a possessed hand that wants to kill people, including his best friend, played by Seth Green. So if you're looking for a really good laugh, but you don't want to sacrifice gore, this is probably the movie for you. Next up is The Crow from 1994. A man who was murdered rises from the grave to take revenge on those who killed him and his fiancée. Okay, so this one's actually action and not really horror, but it is set around Halloween time. It has some really dark themes, and the whole thing just feels like Halloween. Also, it's a guy taking vengeance from beyond the grave, so that's pretty cool. And aside from all that, it's a really good, enjoyable, watchable film, and it was Brandon Lee's last flick. If you haven't seen this one, you should probably watch it. It's really good. And last on the list is Night of the Demons from 1988. On Halloween, a group of teens go to a party at an abandoned funeral home, but when a seance goes wrong, they are possessed and killed off one by one. Now this one might not be the highest quality movie on the list, but if you love gore and you love cheesy monster effects, and don't we all, you're probably going to like this movie. So that's it, guys. This is my list of top movies to watch during Halloween. If you disagree with this list, let me know in the comments. Tell me what your top movies are for Halloween. And if you want to see me do a review of any one of these movies in more depth, let me know, and I absolutely will. I have absolutely no problem doing that. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it to your friends. If you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I've got more reviews coming. If you want to get a hold of me personally, once again, do it in the comments below, or you can hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, both at The Horroritis. And if you want to help this channel grow because you love it as much as I do, please consider going to patreon.com/horroritis. There you can donate anything from $1 on up for as long as you want. Every little bit helps, and everything we get from the Patreon page goes directly back into the channel to help improve production and quality, and maybe add some extra features here and there. So until next time, I'm Dustin. This was Horroritis. Thanks for watching.